want to stay a star. Don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing.
What's up, y'all? This is the Box Menu Podcast back up in here. Right now, we about to watch the Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero Grand Arrival. So if y'all want to, man, y'all can come on in, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button. But before we get started, you know what I'm saying? Let's give a shout out to Turkey Al Sheik.
Who's your favorite fighter of all time?
Roberto Duran.
Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran.
Yeah, y'all. So how everybody day going so far, man? On this good Monday. We about to watch Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero, you know, pull up in, I guess, where they fighting at, New York? Yeah, they fighting up in New York, Times Square, you know. So we gonna see how they pulling up, you know what I'm saying? But for right about now, though, you know, we just chilling, we waiting, you know, we waiting for, you know, for them to show up right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and post it up while we waiting. They should be ready in a minute. They're supposed to start about 6 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So they supposed to start about 6. For now, we gonna post up. We just gonna wait, and I'm gonna keep it on mute. You know, just in case they playing any music. I don't want to get no copyright. You know what I'm saying? This should be a good week of boxing, though. This is gonna be a good week of boxing. We got fights Friday, we got fights Saturday, and we got fights Sunday. We got Rolly, we got Devin, we got Canelo, and then we got Monster anyway, Sunday. So it's going down straight like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and post this up right now. You know, for everybody that wanna watch the Grand Arrival. You know what I'm saying? If you can't watch it on YouTube or at home or, you know what I'm saying, or wherever, you can come to this channel and watch it. Cause it's on The Zone and it's on Ring Magazine. But let's give everybody a round of applause, you know what I'm saying? They came in the building. Let's get to it. I see one person up in the building. Bruce Gas. What's up, Bruce Gas? Salute, Bruce Gas. Salute, fam. What it do, man? About to watch these Grand Arrivals, man. I'm about to pop it up on here, man. Watch Garcia versus Rolly Romero make their entrance to the show. Shout out to Bruce Gas, man. Let's give Bruce Gas a round of applause. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up on the stage now while we waiting. They should be ready in about 6 more minutes. So what y'all think about that Chris Eubank and Conor Benn fight, man? That was a pretty good fight. Yeah, that was a pretty good fight, man. You know, they went toe to toe from start to finish. First round though, they kind of filled each other out though. But that last round was the best round. That last round definitely was the best round. That 12th and final round. I heard Eubank just got out the hospital, man. He had to go in there for a broken jaw or something like that. Yeah, but they say he all good though. They supposed to have a rematch coming up in September. But I thought but they had a rehydration clause anyway. But they said the winner of that was supposed to fight Canelo. So I don't know how they gonna do that. And then I wonder if, on top of that, I wonder if Chris Eubank jaw, you know, they say his jaw was broken. I wonder if that's healed up. That's gonna be healed up by September. But we'll see, man. Yeah, we'll see. We might get that fight later on this year. If if not in September. But it's all good. Yep. But I'm about to go ahead and plug this in. We got let me see how many more minutes we got before they start up on here, man. We got 4 more minutes. So let's hit them with the Rocky song, man. What'd you say, Bruce Gas? You can't wait? You can't wait till Friday? Yeah, I can't wait either. Let's go. Let's get it, man. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Go. Gotta get rid of these ads. We all good.
Welcome back into the Pig Trail Show, and welcome into another Hog Hoops Report. As always, that is Kevin McPherson. I am Jacob Morris, and a heck of a news week, Kevin. We've got a roster.
Here we go. Let's see. Push this back up right quick. Be in there.
Right, and the UEFA Women's Champions League looks set to be bigger and better than ever before.
It's their time, a night to remember. It all comes down to tonight. Don't miss the biggest night in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
Fight Week on the Zone is non-stop action. Access all areas of the biggest fights, even before the bell rings.
I hope you guys enjoy this fight as much as I will.
program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
This is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready.
And no, I don't own none of the rights to this.
Zone.
Hello and welcome to New York City. We are officially here for Fight Week in what promises to be an incredible and historic night under the bright lights of the city that never sleeps. It's the Grand Arrivals, and we are live in the Manhattan Center where all of our fighters are about to come face to face to settle their differences. The fight is on Friday, May 2nd, but today we got the Grand Arrivals. It's coming up next. See you soon.
Enjoy your rest, Ryan. You're gonna need it.
Enough talk. Get to the fight already.
That's a nice predator, y'all.
Hey, Haney, come on.
Hey, Bruce Jazz, if you still up in here, man. Hey, what time the fight starting, man? On the East Coast. I know some of them say 12, 8, 12. Then some say 8. Then I looked on there and said they ain't got no Pacific time yet.
Grab your crying napkin. No more ostrich.
Damn good. This is a nice promo though.
Chill, boys.
Seriously?
Eat for delivery.
Hello.
Not before us.
Will be center stage for the return of Ryan Garcia as he headlines against the hard-hitting Rolly Romero on a star-studded card, which includes Devin Haney facing Jose Ramirez in a high-tempered feud between Teofimo Lopez and Arnold Barboza Jr., who square off for the WBO Super Lightweight Championship. Folks, we are in the beautiful Manhattan Center for the Grand Arrivals for Garcia versus Romero here in New York, New York. My name is Wade Clemens, and I'm alongside two of boxing's best aficionados, and quite frankly, two men that they said they would give me the key to the city, being New Yorkers. It's my first time here. Appreciate you, gentlemen.
You're not officially welcome. You have to walk you through Marcy Projects, maybe a little stroll through Brownsville, get you a slice of pizza or something.
Hold on a second. Brock, don't let it take you to Brownsville, man. I heard stories. Mike Tyson told us about Brownsville. But, gentlemen, what a card we have. This is one of the most insane things I think I've ever seen in my life. Times Square, just give me your thoughts.
Look, they could have gotten away with any matchups, just the fact that they're making this fight in this historic venue of Times Square, right? Anybody can afford, but they have legitimate, real competitive fights where any guy can win on Friday night. I love this card.
Everybody has a dream to fight venues. You call this a venue. First of all, we're on the street. You know, everybody has a dream to fight Madison Square Garden, all these other places. But who doesn't remember their first, no matter what it is? Who don't remember their first? You get to actually be the first to fight on Times Square soil? That's crazy.
And maybe the last.
It's incredible, and like I said, it is a stacked card, ladies and gentlemen, from top to bottom. Of course, that main event, like you guys have already seen, Ryan Garcia taking on Rolly Romero for the WBA regular welterweight championship. We'll talk about that in a second. Devin Haney taking on Jose Ramirez at welterweight. Teofimo Lopez and Arnold Barboza Jr. squaring off for not only the Ring Magazine, but the WBO Super Lightweight Championship. And a debut of a highly touted prospect, Rito Susumi, is coming all the way over from Japan to take on Lavelle Whittington in a featherweight contest. And then, boys, this one's, I like this one. This one's giving back to the city. A battle of the badges as the New York Fire Department takes on the New York Police Department. James Garani versus Joel Allen in a 3-round light heavyweight matchup. Guys, the main event, we have to talk about it. Ryan Garcia makes his return after a year plus off versus Rolly Romero. Talk to me about your thoughts, man.
Look, he's facing adversity because of the criticism, because of the positive test. But not only that, Rolly Romero has been haunting him for a while. Look, some of you might not know, there's footage out there of some sparring session that happened 6, 7 years ago, but it appears that Rolly got the better of Ryan. Now, Ryan was a lot younger, but psychologically, that could possibly affect Ryan in the back of his mind because of this footage. I mean, Rolly seemed like he was a stronger guy in that ring. Obviously, Ryan,
a little bit.
Yeah, and Ryan has gotten way better than, a lot stronger, and is more comfortable in big fights. But Rolly has that X factor where he can punch. He can end the fight at any time.
I think Ryan is right about what he said. He said, you used to be bigger than me. If you look at this right here, Rolly looks bigger. Rolly looks like the bigger guy, the bigger frame. He's thicker, big legs. He gave it to Ryan. Ryan needs to prove him wrong now. So that's one thing he needs to prove, that I'm a man now, and I'm actually bigger than you. I'm looking down at you. I'm bigger than you. But he also wants to show us that that guy that you saw before,
anybody
that was drinking,
betting on the
smoking,
fight?
doing all of that guy is buried. I'm new now. I'm going to take over.
I got Ryan
We've seen
winning.
the betting odds for this fight. It's been pretty lopsided to Ryan Garcia. A lot of the story's been about Ryan Garcia, his return, potentially a rematch with Devin Haney coming up if he should get this win. But no one's talking about Rolly outside of you two because you are the boxing aficionado. So, Brock, talk to me.
I got Ryan
Why
beating
is Rolly
Rolly.
so dangerous?
Power. When you watch
Rolly,
somebody like
but if Rolly land a good shot, though.
As soon as he throw the right hand, you're like, whoa. You're on the edge of your seat, man. You don't know what's going on. That's how Rolly hits. He hits extremely hard, but we're moving up in weight. Who knows? That's the thing. That's the unknown right there. Is he going to have that power at this weight?
Look, we know, when he fought Tank Davis, Rolly
I got Ryan beating
tried
Rolly.
to dissect Rolly because he knew how dangerous it was. And not only in the first round, not in the second. So throughout the fight, Ryan needs to be careful and methodical about how he approaches Rolly.
I do think that
Rolly do got good
punching
power.
Massive factor for both fighters. Let's talk about the Tank fight for Ryan Garcia as well.
Right.
Tank was able to put Ryan in position. We haven't seen him in before, and off of that, Ryan had to evolve.
Rolly
and
got that fast left hook.
Same with Rolly. Both guys used to fight lower. Now they're bigger. How much of a factor is that this is at welterweight?
Well, I mean, first, just to go back to that fight, where
I've seen Rolly walk into a lot of punches,
wasn't at a comfortable weight. He fought at 135, and there was a hydration clause. It was smart on Tank's team's part, no doubt. But it didn't seem like the same Ryan Garcia that fought Devin Haney. So obviously he's at a comfortable weight now. Rolly didn't seem like he had trouble at making that weight to fight Tank. I think that in this situation, at this weight class, Ryan had the advantage.
What it did was it made Ryan Garcia a pay-per-view star. Basically, that was there was no other fight bigger than that. Right. You might have more important fights in the sport of boxing, but there was no fight bigger than that. So it made them both more knowledgeable to the fight fans.
Why sound like it's an echo, man?
Brock, let's talk about, Ryan as a pay-per-view star. His last pay-per-view, him, Devin Haney. The world watched. It was chaos unfolding right here in New York. He might have a chance to fight Devin Haney again, but both men took some damage in that first fight, and Ryan obviously delivered more of it. Controversy abound, but when we go back and look at that fight, what are our thoughts?
Well, I mean, to your point, controversy aside, when you look at the matchup, right? Ryan was beating him to the punch often in that fight, especially with
Okay,
that left hook.
that echo is not me, y'all. That's
homework, and I know he has watched this fight tons of times.
Audio.
But it seems like stylistically, Ryan not has his number, but for that night he did. There's going to have to be some changes on Devin's side.
It's bigger than that. First of all, you can't put the controversy aside. You just can't, and that's what adds to everything. That's why right now Haney is locked in. He came to camp in shape because of that controversy. That controversy probably keeps him up at night. And Ryan, the same thing. You took away your win.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest part of this whole fight.
And do we even call it a controversy at this point? It is what it is.
Yeah,
Ryan
basically
was found to have PEDs in his system.
Right.
That's what happened. Knowingly or unknowingly, it's what it is.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
No, people are not putting that under the bridge, but people are already looking forward. If both guys get past their opponents on Friday, obviously their fight is locked in. So both guys have a chip on their shoulder. Ryan to prove to the world that he didn't need to take anything to beat Devin. Devin to prove to the world, if he's clean, according to him, I can beat him. Great matchup.
Oh, I love it. And maybe we'll have the proper weights now. They're both weighing at the same time. I mean, I just love this fight right
Two
now.
welterweight fights. Let's talk about Devin the Dream Haney. He's coming back, of course, the same layoff. Maybe different demons he has to battle in this one, but it feels like no one's talking about Jose Ramirez. And again, this feels somewhat of the same way with Rolly Romero. Talk to me about this matchup.
I mean, the reason why people aren't talking about it because they're used to Devin fighting big fights after big fights. Think about Devin's career. I mean, he doesn't really have tune-up fights. Ever since he became champion, this guy wants the big names. Since he was 19, 20 years old, he was calling out Lomachenko. This is a guy that fights big fight after big fight. Ramirez is no different. Very, very dangerous opponent, Ramirez, who is constantly on you, throwing so many punches. Devin has his work cut out, but he's that confident where he's saying, I want to show the world that was a fluke. This is the real me fighting a guy fair share.
Listen, we got a lot of champions. We got a lot of really good fighters in this sport, in this era, but we can't decide who's popular. And that's basically what it is. Like, if you go to Instagram, Devin Haney has 2.5 million more followers than Ramirez.
That's an exact number right there. Brock can check it in. Okay?
I studied.
Stalking Instagram.
I studied all aspects of the game. But it is what it is, so that's why Ramirez is not getting talked about. But don't think Devin is not dreaming about Ramirez because the man is a former champion. The man is at a new weight class. That's the unknown. So you got to be prepared for that.
And I feel like as much as we write off Jose Ramirez, a lot of people have written off Devin Haney, especially after the performance and maybe some of the things that happened ensuing the fight and afterwards.
Right.
This is the youngest undisputed champ ever.
Yeah, I mean, he became the
what are we talking about? Like,
absolutely.
He is still
went up
the
to
dream.
the most dangerous guy at 140. Regis Prograis. Come on.
And look what he did at that weight where he was comfortable, right? This guy has a massive chip on his shoulder because of the criticism. He became the villain, even though he didn't test positive for anything. I mean, there's the lawsuit issue there, but he became the villain without doing anything wrong. But he had some moments. He also landed some big shots against Ryan Garcia. And Ryan admitted that he caught him with a good shot in that round.
That was the second round. Yeah. First of all, he had got hurt by Ryan in the first round, came back in the second round and was hurting Ryan.
And
Ryan won like rounds in a row, second, third, fourth. So, exactly. It was a close fight. It was a close fight even with 3 knockdowns, so it goes to show that Devin was putting in work.
Of course. It wasn't a shutout. It's just that Ryan landed the hardest shots, and he appeared to hurt Devin. Obviously dropped him several times, so that's what people remember.
Well, you know, we talk about this fight. We talk about the mental fortitude it took for Devin to stay in that fight. We talk about his heart, and now he's get the time off to reflect and see what he can change. What do you expect? What's the change in the next evolution of the dream, Devin Haney?
Well, just to add to what you just said, he also showed not only heart, but a chin. I mean, when you're getting up from a puncher that can punch as hard as Ryan and as fast as him, that shows that you got a chin. People were criticizing him for his chin. I thought he showed heart and chin. I mean, he obviously has to change his approach on getting close to Ryan. As far as distance, Ryan has a whip of a left hook, and he throws it from different stance. He has to maybe come in with a jab, not stay on the line. Who knows? I mean, he has a good team, behind him. So I'm pretty sure he'll make the adjustments.
Listen, fans judge fights with Street Fighter rules, meaning who got beat up. So they don't count rounds. This guy made it a close fight, getting knocked down 3 times. Not only did he have a good chin, but he showed heart because he could have easily stayed long distance away after getting knocked down the first time. He didn't. Maybe that wasn't smart, but it showed heart. So when you're judging it that way, this guy can come back and probably do something different.
True, but just also I want to add and kind of shed some light on Ryan. Going into that fight, many people felt that he was going to be outboxed. They said Devin is the better boxer, right? So Ryan showed a lot of skill, and I felt like that was his coming out party to show the world I can box with the elite boxers of the world.
Actually, he surprised me. I'm sorry to cut you off, because when he was on our show, he said, you know what? The reason why I switched up is because I can't keep giving Devin or anyone the same look all the time, or they'll know how to duck and get away from it. So he has to switch up, go into that Ryan role, which I never want to see again, by the way. Ryan, never again. You know, switch it up, make you feel like you can come in and then catch you again. I kind of thought that was brilliant if he was telling the truth.
Well, listen, both fighters are cerebral fighters in their own right, and Devin has taken this time off to reflect. Here's what he had to say about the layoff.
I want to just be the best that I can be, come back better than I was before, and you know, beat Jose Ramirez. You know, I'm solidified. You know, I already, you know, been undisputed. You know, been champion at 140, and you know now I have another test in front of me, and it's Jose Ramirez. So my main focus is going there, beating me, and being victorious. I can't wait. The world is going to see how much better I've gotten over this last year, and I'm looking to bring fireworks. I'm looking to showcase my full arsenal on Jose Ramirez, and show him that I'm just levels above him. It's my time, and I took a year off. I let my body, you know, rest and recover. So now I'm going into this fight, and I'm 100%. Mentally, physically, you know, I couldn't be better right now.
There, Devin is talking about all the adjustments he's made. By the way, got his own masseuse. My man is still doing his thing up in Big Bear. A lot of fighters need to get out of their element and go to a different place and switch things up, not just mentally but physically. In elevation, I think all that's going to play a factor. But again, we talk about Jose Ramirez and Devin Haney, and that fight is spectacular in its own right, but there's still a massive fight that we haven't talked about. Teofimo Lopez, Arnold Barboza. Gentlemen, talk to me.
I mean, look, obviously there's some bad blood. Barboza has been calling out Teofimo for a very long time. Barack and I have spoken to him years ago. He's been calling out Teofimo, so he wants that smoke. Now, Teo, obviously, leading up to this fight, he's been a showman, right? He's been the one talking all this smack. He even smacked Barboza at the face-off there. So he's ready for this moment. And if you think about Teo's big moments, right? When he fought Lomachenko, when he fought Josh Taylor, how he shined in those big moments. Don't get me wrong, Barboza is no easy task by any means. Coming off a win, he has a lot to prove. But I got a feeling that Teofimo is going to be his night to shine.
Speaking about knight and shine, you look like a knight in shining armor right there. Got his Bret Michaels going on. What does that fit? Teo got the bandana on.
Eyeliner and all.
Come on now.
Oh, I forgot about the eyeliner. That was crazy. But what he's trying to show you is that I'm in shape, guys. Yeah. I'm in shape. I'm looking good. He doesn't have to have a chip on his shoulder. You know that, right? This guy's been lineal champion in 2 different divisions, but he has it. Why? Questionable fights. Martin, Ortiz, questionable fights. So he wants to show the whole world, starting with New York, that I am who I said I was. I beat Loma. I beat Josh Taylor. Those are wins of guys who are on a pound-for-pound list. Yeah. This guy is a Hall of Famer already, basically. Indeed. Seriously.
When we talk about Teo, again, I feel like we sometimes we don't do the service to Arnold Barboza, because this guy has been on a tear, and it's just like we talked about Jose Ramirez potentially being overlooked, Rolly Romero potentially being overlooked. This fight is close. Right. This one is probably the toughest fight on the card back and forth that you could say on paper. That might be a toss-up. What do you guys think? Why is Arnold Barboza being slept on here?
This was the reason, one of the reasons why I said that this card is so competitive, because of this fight. Barboza is a guy that, you talk about chip on his shoulder, he has the biggest chip because he's been fighting the longest, and he's been calling for big fights. Beating Jack Catterall, a guy that is considered one of the most skilled boxers, especially across the pond, the way he did it, he showed the world. That was his coming out party. Obviously, in my opinion, I think I have a tougher task against Teofimo, but he's a guy that could potentially win this fight.
You know, on paper, Barboza is the most scariest guy. You know why? Because he beat Ramirez. So you got to take him out of there. Rolly's been knocked out twice. Questionable wins over Marinez and guys like that. So, yeah, basically, and he's undefeated. And you know what it is? he's not super popular. He's just getting by, but in big fights. And those are sneaky, scary guys you got to be careful of.
You absolutely do, because regardless of how you get the fight done, it is win in advance, especially at these weight classes where guys are the stars upcoming, and this is why they're on this card. This is his opportunity. This is Jose Ramirez's opportunity. This is Rolly's opportunity to either reinsert themselves into that top-level status or introduce themselves to the world. And when we talk about all three of these fights, I want to get your opinions. Which fight sticks out to you the most and why?
I mean, I'm going to talk about the Teofimo fight that we just talked about. I think because of that, because to Barack's point, Barbosa is probably the most dangerous opponent on paper and in the ring. And there's bad blood. He's wanted Teofimo for a very long time. So there's a little pressure he put on himself because he's been saying that he can beat Teofimo for years. Now he's going to get the opportunity to do it in Times Square in New York City. So believe me, he has some pressure, but a lot to prove. That's the most interesting matchup in my opinion.
Well, since you picked that one, I'll pick the main event. The guy has 12-point-something million followers, and I'm talking about Ryan Garcia.
Here he goes again.
12.5 this morning, okay? There we go. No, but listen, he's bringing them out.
Yeah.
He's the reason people are going to be looking out their office windows, right or wrong.
Hey, I'm saying.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
And then you fighting a guy that, if you got knocked down by Luke Campbell, can we assume that Romero can probably knock Ryan down? Maybe. So if that guy is that dangerous, and you're fighting the guy with the pretty face that everybody want to see, come on, we got to talk about that one.
And he's not just a pretty face. I mean, some of these knockouts are deadly from Ryan, and you may not have thought it because of the pretty face, because of the YouTube following early, but he's left that all behind now. Right. And as he's grown up, not just physically, but mentally, you see him this fight week, and it seems like a more mature Ryan. It seems like a guy that has his head on straight, and quite frankly is looking at Rolly like Rolly's not even on his level. Like I don't want to say he's looking past him because that's what a lot of people are doing, but he's looking at Rolly like, you don't realize how much better I am than you. Essentially, when I watched that face-to-face, he was like, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to walk through you. He told Rolly he was going to retire him and that Rolly would not walk into another boxing ring.
Ryan gives predictions, and he's kind of right.
Mystic
a lot
Ryan.
of time. Yeah, he's kind of right with his predictions. So I hope that doesn't happen, but he does give predictions, and everybody says that about Rolly. Why? You talk about Ryan make mistakes. Rolly is a walking mistake in there, but he has power. No, but the guy has power. He makes a lot of mistakes. He's very wise,
he's unorthodox,
but he can knock a horse out.
We're talking about a judo background. That's why a lot of the stuff that you see, he does throw punches and sounds like a cat being skinned when he's landing on the heavy bag. I saw that clip. I don't know really what that was. But he is a little unorthodox.
But he can crack.
And he can crack as well as being unorthodox. That upright stance, we called Ryan unorthodox for years. We called him flat-footed for years. Does it matter when you can throw bombs? Seems not.
Hard to train for a guy like that.
That's
very
true.
hard to find sparring for a guy that fights just like that. So you can't time guys like that because they throw punches. I don't want to compare him to Prince Nassim Ahmed, but he's a guy that was unorthodox and threw punches from different angles, but he had power. That was the X factor. He can throw punches from anywhere and hurt you with any hand. So very dangerous fight for Ryan Garcia.
100%. And when I call him a mistake is because you don't do things right. Roy Jones Jr. didn't do things right. You understand? So if you mastered what you do and it works, we can't complain.
And listen, Rolly seems like he has an idea that we don't. He knows something we don't about this fight. I can't wait for that one. But again, you guys went with the main event and Teofimo and Arnold Barbosa. I'm going to go with Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez because I really do think this is a moment where Devin Haney is going to have to answer the bell, literally and figuratively. This is a moment where the world has talked about that last fight, memed it into oblivion, and it's his opportunity to shut all that up and go right back to the Ryan Garcia fight, potentially, if he's able to get back to Rolly. That is what I think is so important for Devin this time around, is that he is able to...
So, Ramirez just lost to Barbosa. How? Ramirez wasn't first. Barbosa was first, threw 150 more punches. Y'all caught that?
He's again,
almost landed 50 more.
Come on.
You get what I'm saying? Okay, almost landed 50 more. And then now if Devin gonna land a jab... No, but listen, who throws a better jab than Devin Haney?
Not many out there.
Who can outwork who? Like, he can outwork you, he can stay away, and he can shoot that laser right hand. So I just figured if Barbosa gave that blueprint already, it might be kind of easier for Devin to do that style.
What do you think is potentially going to surprise us on fight night? What do you think? Is it going to be an upset fight, or is it just going to be one of these fights that turns into a dog fight? Just a final thought on what you guys think might be a potential surprise here.
Honestly, to be honest, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer way, but I don't see any surprises on Friday night. I think the people that are supposed to win will face some adversity throughout the fight, some maybe more than others, but they all will come on top. The fighters that are supposed to win, the favorites.
I don't know. I think everybody's focused. The A side is focused. The B side is focused. Anything can happen in either one of those fights, but I guess we can squeeze out Romero because he has that superpower, so maybe he can shock the world and get a knockdown at least.
I do think everybody, I think everybody understands the levity of this moment. And folks, the moment is here for our grand arrival. So let's send it down to David Diamante with our fighter introductions.
It's an absolute pleasure to welcome everybody here today to the Manhattan Center for the grand arrivals for Fatal Fury, a huge night of World Championship Boxing taking place this Friday, May 2nd, from the crossroads of the world, Times Square, New York City. It's all being brought to you courtesy of the Bible of Boxing, Ring Magazine, SNK Corporation, the publisher of the famous video fighting game Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, Oscar de la Hoya's of Golden Boy Promotions, Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, and Box Raw. Sponsored by the Public Investment Fund. Visit Saudi, STC, SRMG, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, Saudia, the National Airlines of Saudi Arabia, Jeddah Season, Milaf Cola, Visit Qatar, Core Group, Desert, NHC, Jocko, Sky, Arab National Bank, First Data, Sella, and SMC. And ladies and gentlemen, this incredible event with 3 main events will be available worldwide. Buy the pay-per-view now at DAZN.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the first contest of the night, it's an incredible light heavyweight special attraction. It's the Battle of the Badges. New York's finest against New York's bravest. Now making his way to the stage representing New York's finest, the NYPD, please welcome Joel Allen. Allen. And now making his way to the stage, he's representing the FDNY, New York's bravest. Please welcome James Gennari. Gennari.
From police officers are always a little tougher than the firemen. No disrespect to the New York Fire Department, but I'm going with the cops on this one.
I never see no standouts in either one of them. Sometimes I used to watch them and say, these are the guys protecting us? My God.
Well, let's give these guys a shot on Friday, man.
On Friday, these guys are the ones who will protect us.
They're the best of the best,
They're
right?
the best of the best. 3 rounds, light heavyweight division, the best, the finest, and the bravest of New York going at it. Now let's go ahead and send it to Mike Coppinger, who is standing by with the fighters.
All right, Joel. where you're here representing NYPD. You're fighting to represent them. How excited are you for this fight?
Oh, I'm blown away. Such a, wow, what a moment. Happy to be here, just trying to stay focused and not caught in the lights, but very happy to be here and look forward to making my brothers in blue proud.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see you fight. I'm wondering, have you ever had to put those fighting skills to the test with your job?
Minimum force use at all times, minimum force. Once or twice.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and look, you're representing FDNY, the firefighters. How important is it for you to score one against NYPD?
Oh, it's a classic matchup. NYPD versus FDNY is classic. It never gets old, you know. Of course, I'm trying to go for the win, so that's the plan.
And how have you trained for this fight?
Just through hard work, dedication, you know, work 24-hour shift, straight to the gym.
All right, thanks. Best of luck.
The bravest versus the finest. Joel Allen versus James Gennari.
What was it? NYPD.
Listen, I'm going with that fireman. You know why? FDNY, they show up first for everything.
He's bringing the fire.
24 hours, and then you go right into the gym? Got to go with him.
Teddy Atlas would have loved him. He was a fireman, but more fire ahead. Let's send it back to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest, it's a special featherweight attraction. We're going 6 rounds. Now making his way to the stage, fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, LaVell Whittington. Whittington. And now making his way to the stage, he's the Southpaw sensation from Japan. He's the gold medalist at the 2021 World Youth Championships. He's a Ring Magazine ambassador. Here comes making on Saturday night his much anticipated professional debut, Reito Tsutsumi.
This must be the undercard.
Tsutsumi.
I've actually called the LaVell Whittington fight before.
Oh, yeah?
In Caguas, Puerto Rico. You like how I did that? But I'll tell you something. The star on stage right now is clearly Tsutsumi, 59-2.
Reito Tsutsumi, 6-round super featherweights, Times Square, New York City, Ring Magazine, Fatal Fury.
Well, I think he's a star because I like his fit. You know, they say Japan has the best fashion sense, and he showed it today. I like the fit.
I just looked at his stance. His stance looked good. Looked like he was a left-handed fighter. I gotta go with that guy.
A lot of eyes on him, a lot of hype around him as well. That one is just a precursor because now we get the main course. Let's send it back to David Diamante.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to get into our 3 main events for the evening. Our first one is in association with Top Rank Incorporated as we go 12 rounds for the WBO and Ring Magazine Junior Welterweight Championship of the World.
Let's go.
Now making his way to the stage, professional record, perfect. 32 fights, 32 victories with 11 wins coming by way of knockout. He's the mandatory #1 contender, ranked #3 in the world by the Ring Magazine, fighting out of Los Angeles, California, Arnold Barbosa Jr. Jr.
Boy, Barbosa look amped up.
And now please welcome to the stage the Hall of Famer, Oscar De La Hoya.
We are very proud to be here in New York, the media capital of the world. We're excited that Golden Boy Promotions is part of this excellent show.
Why look like
we have three main fighters on the card, and once again, Golden Boy Promotions proves that we are the best at
like
positioning our fighters to be in this situation. So thank you very much to Salah. Thank you very much to Turkey Al Sheikh. And New York, we'll see you May 2nd, live in Times Square. It's going to be historical. Gracias a toda la gente que está aquí, a toda la raza, gracias por apoyar. Mayo 2 va a ser increíble. No se la pierdan. Ryan Garcia, José Ramírez, Barbosa va a ser increíble. Gracias, toda la raza.
Whatever he said.
We are here with Arnold Barbosa Jr., or number 3 in the Ring Magazine's rankings at 140 pounds. And you've been on an incredible stretch right now. You beat Jose Ramirez in November. You beat Jack Catterall. I imagine your confidence right now is at an all-time high.
Oh, man, the train's going to keep going, baby. The train's going to keep going. We're in New York City, baby. I'm happy. I'm excited. Let's go.
You're 33 years old. You've been waiting a long time for this title shot, and you're fighting for the Ring Magazine Junior Welterweight Championship against one of the biggest stars in boxing. How excited are you?
Oh, man, I'm very excited, man. I'm very excited to share the ring with him, man. He's an awesome fighter. You know, one of the top at 140, right? But I'm an awesome fighter, too, man. So it's going to be fireworks, baby. Let's go.
Lastly, in Los Angeles, Teofimo Lopez disrespected you. He slapped you across the face. Are you going to make him pay?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We stick to the game plan, man. We, you know, on May 2nd, baby, it's time to get active.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Arnold Barbosa Jr. coming in
Professional record, 21 victories, 1 defeat with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of the beautiful borough of Brooklyn, New York. Here is the former undisputed lightweight world champion and the reigning and defending Ring Magazine and WBO junior welterweight champion of the world, the Takeover, Teofimo Lopez.
Tio up here acting like he on the runway and shit.
All right, we are here with the Takeover, Teofimo Lopez. You're the Ring Magazine champion at 140 pounds, and you're going to be on the same card as 2 other stars, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. How do you steal the show?
Well, first off, I just want to thank the higher power, man. I just want to thank God for everything, just being here with all you beautiful people. We're here, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. I'm happy, I'm thankful, and I'm grateful, man. Other than that, we're just here to put on a show, warm it up for everybody, and take over.
And look, you know Barbosa's been calling for this fight for a long, long time. You slapped him across the face in Los Angeles. What point were you looking to prove there?
Well, listen, I mean, look, I come respectful, you know, that's the whole thing. My whole thing is I'm always going to come respectful, but he crossed that boundary, and we just got to lay it right there. But nevertheless, Friday, May 2nd, we're going to handle business.
And lastly, you are again the champion at 140 pounds. What kind of statement are you looking to make here? Is this going to be your last fight at 140?
Champion? I'm the champion. Yeah, rightfully so. I'm the champion. He's not no champion. He had to work his way, but he still ain't there yet. So my whole thing is, look, I'm going to go out there and do what I got to do, have fun, and beat the brakes out this boy.
Thank you to you.
Face off, guys.
Temper, gentlemen. Doesn't seem like it's cooled off too much there. Tio walked up, did his model pose, and then spun around, hit a pointer finger too. He's going, he took advantage of that.
I ain't even do no real face off.
And Mike reminded both guys that
They
big
just walk
smack
away
him
from
across
each
the
other.
face.
That's crazy. All right, we got some banger fights coming up. That's just one. Two more. And I just can't believe that we're right here. This moment is so near. Tiafimo's soaking it in. Arnold Barbosa's soaking it in. He's got his LA Dodgers gear on. Shout out to him. West Coast boy myself nowadays. I had to have somebody represent.
I like the way Oscar came and just took that mic and took over for a second.
Snatched it.
I like how Barbosa also has been comfortable and holding his composure.
He definitely is. We're going to go right back to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, the grand arrivals continue with our second main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled in the welterweight division. Now making his way to the stage, professional record, 29 victories, 2 defeats with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Avenal, California, here is the former junior welterweight champion of the world, Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez soaking in his moment. Again, upset-minded. Not to me. Oh, look at that. Showing off the abs. Okay, Barack, you see some of that?
I like that. I don't mean I like that.
Listen, let's take it to Mike.
Jose Ramirez, you're a former champion at 140 pounds. This is going to be your first fight at 144 as you work your way to welterweight. And we saw you pulling up your shirt there. You're feeling good, huh?
Yeah, I'm just ready to fight May 2nd. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna go out there and win, man. I see myself out there May 2nd, stealing the show.
And you're coming off a loss to Arnold Barbosa Jr., and you're going right back into a tough fight. You're the underdog. You're fighting one of the biggest stars in boxing, in Devin Haney. How excited does that make you?
Oh, extremely excited. First and foremost, I'm thankful for the opportunity, but it's time for me to show the world the best version of myself. So I owe it to myself to, move up in a bigger weight class, so score pounds. I know, it's going to definitely do wonders for me that night, and, we're ready.
And I watched you spar in training camp. You looked great, and we know that you come with that Mexican style, that non-stop pressure. What should Devin Haney expect on fight night?
Well, like you said, you saw me spar. You saw me spar against 3 guys, 3 undefeated.
Somebody said Devin Haney by lawsuit. Let's go,
world
baby.
champions, and they were in 4 rounds each. Because of the pressure, because of the motivation that I had. Man,
these comments
I'm
is crazy.
extremely ready for May 2nd. And it doesn't matter who's in front of me.
Somebody said Ryan by KO.
Do what I have to do to win.
Thank you, Jose. Best of luck.
And his opponent now making his way to the stage. He is undefeated in his campaign as a professional with a record of 31 victories, no defeats, 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing the Bay Area, ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBC Junior Welterweight World Champion, the former undisputed lightweight world champion, ranked pound for pound number 9 and ranked number 1 in the world by the Ring Magazine, Devin the Dream Haney.
To prove here for Devin Haney. He looks confident, boys.
Yeah, and he's paying homage to New York, wearing them Air Force Ones, icy whites.
Absolutely, I like that fit, but if you think about it, I think he just had a year's camp. He's
Where
ready.
Bill at? Bill ain't show up? Bill somewhere around there. Somebody said it's Sue, baby.
Devin the Dream Haney, one of the biggest stars in all of boxing, number 9 pound for pound in the world, Ring Magazine. It's been a long year since your fight with Ryan Garcia. What are you looking to prove?
Alhamdulillah, I'm happy to be back in the ring. This is a dream come true. You know, Allah's a perfect planner. I like to bring fireworks on May 2nd. I like to show the world a new and improved, better Devin Haney than before.
Yeah, and again, that fight with Ryan Garcia in April, we all know what happens. One of the biggest fights of the year. You are still undefeated. What have you been doing along this year off?
You know, I had to go back to the drawing board and, you know, focus on the mistakes I was making, you know, and like I said, become a better version of myself. And I look to go in there and show it on Friday.
And look, it's no secret, right? You and Ryan Garcia are going to meet again in a rematch. But first, you need to beat Jose Ramirez. Ryan Garcia, he needs to beat Rolly Romero. How excited are you for that rematch?
It all starts with May 2nd. My main focus right now is Jose Ramirez. He's a former two-time champion. He's coming. He's bringing everything, and I look to show him. You know, I look to handicap him and show him that I'm just on a whole different level, and then we can get to the Ryan Garcia fight. But it all starts with Friday night.
All right, are we going to see a statement victory?
Inshallah.
Thank you, Devin.
Listen, I just, the weight, I think Devin is so much more comfortable at this weight class. But right, he feels like he's going to show the world that he's still one of the best boxers on the planet on Friday night.
You know how Kobe used to say that he used to get up earlier than everybody and work harder than everybody? I think throughout this year, while other guys probably were taking time off, he was in the gym.
But on the low.
Yes,
low key.
He's only talking about his mistakes.
Jose Ramirez, 12 rounds in the welterweight division, Fatal Fury, City of the Worlds, Times Square, New York City.
Talking to each other up there, you can feel the energy, right, guys? You can feel. We're only days away, but I bet most of these guys want to do it right now.
And we're so far, for them, it's so far away. For us, it's like tomorrow, but for them, it's like they want to get in the ring now.
And now let's sit it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the grand arrivals continue right now with the third and final main event of the evening, and it's all being brought to you in association with Warriors Boxing. Now making his way to the stage, his professional record, 16 victories, 2 defeats, with 13 of his 16 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Please welcome the former junior welterweight champion of the world, Rolando Romero.
Rolly Romero. He's a lot more laid back, a lot more chill, but I think that's just a lot more locked in.
I don't know. It's a lot not like him, though. So
Look
it doesn't seem like he's being himself.
No, I just think that they're friends.
See what Rolly's
You know what I'm
got
saying?
to
They kind of
say.
like each other.
All right, we're here with Rolly Romero. Rolly, you're a former champion at 140 pounds, but you're a big guy. This is going to be your welterweight debut. How are you feeling?
About damn time. It's long overdue.
And look, you've talked a lot about over the years, right? You and Ryan Garcia have sparred before. What's your recollection of that sparring session?
He got his ass beat twice.
Is this going to be the third time you're saying?
3 times the charm, right?
And lastly, you had that fight with Gervonta Davis. That was a big fight. You're back in another big fight right now, the headlining fight in Times Square. What can we expect from you? You're a big puncher. Are you going for the knockout?
Whenever I ever knock on for a knockout. Every fight I'll go for a knockout.
All right, best of luck.
Thank you.
And his opponent now making his way to the stage. His professional record, 24 victories.
All right.
Only 1 defeat with 20 big wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Los Angeles, California, USA. Please welcome the skilled, popular, and dangerous young fighting phenom, King Ryan Garcia.
In New York His arrival has got the fans ignited, fellas. Look at those combinations already.
He's looking good. He's looking sharp. He's looking in shape.
Yes.
Not big like the last time.
I like the sweatsuit.
All right, Ryan Garcia, one of the biggest stars in all of boxing, one of the biggest punchers. We saw your fast hands right there. What kind of statement are you looking to make after that year layoff?
Yeah, I'm coming back with a bang. You know, I'm not here to, play no games in this come Friday night. I can't. You know, I got a huge fight coming up next, so I got to take him as serious as if I'm fighting Devin. So we're going to be prepared 100%.
Yeah, and again, you fought Devin Haney last April. It's been a year layoff. Is this a new Ryan Garcia, a more focused version?
I mean, you're just getting what you're getting, but I'm still going to bring that speed, that power. It's just what I do. You know, I'm explosive and I'm hungry. You know, I feel the adrenaline right now. You know, fight week. I'm just, I'm feeling how I always feel. Just focused, ready to kill.
3 knockdowns scored in your last fight. Like we said, you're a big puncher. Are you coming for that knockout?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I'm not coming for it, but, when I throw, usually they go down. So, I got him. He's going to be coming after me. I'm going to be coming after him, and it's going to be a great night.
And you mentioned Devin Haney before. Obviously, he's fighting Jose Ramirez before you, and you have a rematch planned against Devin Haney. Are you looking to show him something?
Oh, yeah, I'm willing to show him. I cannot wait. I want to put a whooping on his dad, too. That's really who I want to put a whooping on. But Devin could get it as well. Again, I'm going to do the same thing just like I did last time. Maybe we could run it back in New York, too. Why not? Bring it back and do what I did to him last time.
All right, lastly, Times Square, New York. It's going to be a crazy experience. Is this the biggest fight of your career?
Yeah, this got to be the biggest fight of my career. It's a historic night, and, it means everything. It means everything. So, yeah, this is the biggest fight of my life.
All right, Ryan, thank you. Can't wait to see you back in the ring.
Thank you.
Face off, guys. Face off.
He is I like it. I like the focus. I like the wherewithal to understand how big this moment is.
And so much bigger, he's talking about bigger he is than Rolly. He's so comfortable in there, so calm,
look how Rolly
so
look.
collective. I think this is the most dangerous Ryan Garcia you would ever see.
Yeah, I think in Ryan's mind, he says, I beat that Canadian. I beat a harder fighter already.
Rolly Romero, 12 rounds in the welterweight division. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Times Square, New York City.
You heard it last week from my man. I think we need to talk about that. Tell me your guys' thoughts on just the change in the sport, the improvement, the evolution that Turkey's bringing here.
I think outside of the innovation, right? Obviously, I touched on it earlier that I would never imagine a fight being in Times Square, but he's not only focused on the venue, the spectacle, he's also focused on the matchups, right? Making the biggest fights that the fight fans want to see. And that's been a narrative for the last 10, 15 years as Barack and I have been covering the sport with why these fights are not happening. People don't have those excuses anymore where the fights are happening. And it's because of AG.
Right, and he's also saying, how can I make the best fights a spectacle? Where everybody's going to say, oh, really? What? Where did they fight? Are they going to fight in a prison? Where? Rikers Island, C-74? Where are they going to fight at? So that right there is going to bring more eyes to the sport. So he's amazing for
it already has. You're seeing the evolution like you talked about in the matchmaking, in the willingness to take risks and do different venues, different matchups, but also look at the promo. Look at that video we just watched earlier.
Those are movies.
That was crazy. The billboards were talking to us.
I auditioned for that.
The pizzas.
These are motion pictures to promote these fights.
He gotta get y'all one of these.
It's a real short film.
It's becoming a movie. It really is.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
But this is a different level, right? This is a trailer for a fight never been done.
Well, listen, we're here at the grand arrivals.
Yeah, baby.
What we just saw. Who stuck out to you? Who looked like they were in the moment the most and ready for what's about to happen?
I thought it was Ryan Garcia. I said the confidence, the cerebralness that you see in his eyes when he walks up. And when he walked at the end of that stage, that catwalk, and through that combination, that's that range. I can't wait to let these shots off. On Friday, I said Ryan Garcia said to me today.
was so happy. You know, he looking down at him like, you know, he's joyful. But also, I like what Devin was saying. Devin has been in a camp for 1 year, literally. And he keeps saying, I can't wait to show the new Devin Haney what I've learned all of this time. Well, maybe I was on vacation, maybe I was enjoying your family, but I was in the gym.
And that's what you'd expect, right? After, you know, not technically a loss, but I think we all saw with our two eyes what happened in that ring. You wanted to see Devin go back to the drawing board. If this is truly a new Devin Haney, I wonder what that means.
Where'd you find this?
Just to focus on the things that he could have done better in the fight, or does he get more aggressive in this fight? Does he really try to showcase that I'm not just great with my feet,
I mean, I wouldn't even say style because Devin he's in my opinion, he's one of the best skilled boxers in all of boxing. So he doesn't have to change his style, so to speak. Maybe at times he could be more aggressive and he showed against Prograis that he has power. Maybe he tries that against Ramirez, especially moving up a weight, being in a more comfortable weight. But Devin doesn't have to change anything because he is one of the most skilled boxers in all of boxing.
I think he's going to be more defensively minded. You know, also, he's probably working on his power and his footwork. But like he said, he was already super skillful.
Now, when we started the Grand Arrivals with our first of three main events, we saw Arnold Barboza and Teofimo Lopez. Energy from between those two, it's been red hot since they stepped on the stage, the first press conference. Anything new you saw there, or just two guys ready to go?
Same energy. I think Barboza was a little bit more calm than he was earlier on, a little more comfortable. He's enjoying the moment. He's laughing. He's smiling. First go around on that press tour, he was upset. He really wanted to get his hands on Teofimo. Now he's waiting till Friday for that moment. He looked very calm.
I think the days that they're not eating at all, we'll get a little bit more spice.
I was going to say, we're starting that weight cut little by little. The open workout, we'll start to see guys, I think, get a little quieter, a little more focused, and maybe a little more spiteful.
Maybe not so much, because remember, these guys are fighting at a bigger weight class.
True.
No, there's a difference. Trust me, those 3 or 4 pounds are the hardest to get off. So I'm not saying it won't be hard.
You ain't trying to take off no pounds. You ain't trying to take off no pounds.
Go ahead, get it.
Listen,
he's in the gym doing curls. That's it.
He's not lying. It's been 18 years trying to get the Right, but listen, those 3 pounds at the end of the week are hard to get off. Believe it or not, it's going to be a little easier than the times before at 140.
A little easier, but still, Wednesday, Thursday, it'll be a little more spicy. That's all I'm saying.
And let's be honest, we do have a catch weight for Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez, not at 140, not at 147, 144, so right in the middle there, so that'll be interesting as well. I do want to go back to Ryan at the end of this catwalk here. He started throwing those combinations, and I don't know if you guys thought of it, but I did. After that weigh-in in the Devin Haney fight, he jumped off that scale after all the antics, and you saw a flip switched. That looked exactly like that combination he threw on stage after the Haney weigh-in. That guy looks to be just in the exact same zone, kill or be killed mindset, and I love it because, again, no antics, none of the other stuff, locked in, zeroed in, and he's dangerous.
But think about this, though. A higher weight class now, and he looks slimmer. You get what I'm saying? Higher weight class, look a little slimmer in the face. He's in better shape. This is going to be crazy.
And he stayed with Derek James, which, there were some rumors about where he would go, potentially back with Canelo, but he's staying with Derek James. I think that's going to help out a lot, too, because that comfortability, you're not bouncing around gyms. And also, he can work on that right hand. We know he got the left hook.
Not only that, look, he won the biggest fight in his career with Derek James, regardless of the controversy. He still looked great in that ring, and he was with Derek. Look, he sat down with myself and Barack on Ring Champs, and
tell him where he sat down.
He sat down on Ring Champs on All the Smoke fight, but he said to us that he has no issues with Derek James. There were some issues with traveling, him not wanting to leave Texas and so on and so forth, but they worked it out. They negotiated whatever they negotiate. He's very comfortable with Derek James. Hell of a coach.
Absolutely.
There you have it, man. That's the Grand Arrival right there, man. About to go ahead and get up out of here, y'all, man. All y'all have a blessed day. You know what I'm saying? And I'll get back with y'all. Before we leave, man, let's get some shout outs.
Introducing the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. There's a right hand.
This is Deontay Wilder, Global Comeback Collector, Legacy Reloaded, baby. Squad!
You've mentioned a couple names recently. Who were they?
Listen, man, they call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.
Boxing, number one, is skill. It's all about skill, basically. When you come to real boxing. I'm not talking about no Sylvester Stallone shit. That shit they show on TV, that's bullshit. When you start talking about real boxing take real skill, okay?
Brought in some big guys in here. You beat them all.
It ain't only about being big. You gotta have skills, son.
That's some pussy shit. That's some weak shit. Oh, you can't come in this much and shit. Oh, man, get the fuck out of here. It's boxing. You got on the scale, I made the weight, regardless when I come back, ass. Hey, you accepted the fight, let's get in there and fight like me. Simple as that.
Before we leave, man, we gotta give a shout out to Peter McNeely too.
This is for my grandfathers, my grandmothers, my father, my mother, Curly, my three brothers, last but not least, Snubby.
Mr. McNeely, what was it that you have told your son?
And last but not least, Medfield.
What is it that you've...
That nonsense, because they were starting to butt heads. Oh. Tyson with a left hook, a right uppercut, down goes McNeely.
And after this, y'all, I'm up out of here.
Record me. I'm the best I'm the best in the building. Y'all talking about that in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what we doing. No, you don't record nobody but me, because I'm the best in the building.
Hold on. You the best in the building?
You Philippines, motherfucker, looking motherfucker. What's going on?
We just chilling, man. We just...
Yeah.
I get some stuff. You was in the middle of saying something.
I say I'm the
best. Fuck you. That's what it's in the middle of saying. Y'all see what I did on Showtime? Fuck you.
Yeah. There he is right
Fuck
there.
y'all talking about.
What he do, Adrian? What's good with you, fam?
Hold up. His black ass ain't saying fuck you. He just saying fuck the haters. So that's what he was saying. Tell him hold the belts. I'll whoop his ass for free.
Easy work.
No, not for free, but not for the damn belts.
All right, y'all. Peace. I'm up out of here, y'all. It's the Boxing Me Podcast Plus. Like, subscribe to the channel. And I'll get with y'all later.